Boom! What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, alongside
Lex Kovacs, NGA Pro from NutraKey.
NutraKey. Link down below. All the stuff you need, all your commodities. We have some epic content coming your way, but enough about epic content. I get this question all the time. I get a lot of emails, and we usually answer them here on the Your Questions playlist. Natural potential. You know, when do I know when I reach my natural potential? When I reach that natural potential, should I jump on a cycle? Oh, as soon as I reach my natural potential, I'm gonna do some drugs. Oh, as soon as I do this, it's time. When do you know when your natural potential is hit? I mean, there's so many variations of the same question, and I get it constantly, and I'm sure you do too. And you're someone, you've been training your bodybuilding for 11 years. Have you reached your natural potential?
No. Yeah, I don't think you can reach a truly natural potential because there's always something new there's always something different that you can try.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What you said?
I'm going to go straight anecdote on you, bro, and then I'll let you pontificate. And then we get into the magic word. Doug Miller. That trend-using piece of shit, Doug Miller. Now, let's talk about... So, I went to Exos, and I learned about athletic training. And I'm sitting there with my best friend, Sean Torbati, he owns HPN, and we're just like learning this stuff. And we're like looking at this energy systems development, which can be Tabata. And I'm like, so you're depleting all glycogen. Lactic acid's rushing to your legs. Like today we did VersaClimber. Lactic acid's rushing everywhere. Even our mushroom tip is full of lactic acid. Like my dick was sore. And I'm thinking, if you're depleting that much, lactic acid is rushing in, and this is done post-training. Post-training, I just did an article on the content site you read. Just done post-training, so you're done. Your body's out. What if you flooded your body with nutrients, right? Like a post-workout shake. I kid you not, I've gained 10 pounds of lean mass. I haven't changed anything. For those of y'all mad, we're talking natural potential. Full disclosure, I've been on TRT since I was 27 years old. And the biggest thing, you're not just on TRT. Whatever you want to believe, that's fine. I'm on medically prescribed TRT as a weekly dose. It hasn't changed. Basically what I'm saying is even if I was on 40 grams of test a week, I didn't increase it. You know what I mean? Like everything stayed the same. Diet is controlled. I eat the same shit every day. Yet I've gained 10 pounds just by adding in that element. And I've been training for 21 years. And all of a sudden, I get this sudden anabolic increase. What I'm saying is you have not tried every variable, and I guarantee you do not live your life, most likely, 99% chance, like we do, where you live meal by meal, you meal prep. You know your meals. You know your macros every day. You know your training split. You might take a week or two off. You might take a month off. How many times I get the email, oh my God, I took some time off. How do I come back? I haven't taken more than 3 days off since I was fucking 14 years old. I'm 35.
It's a lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle. So we've been talking about this. This infuriates me and makes me passionate because I think people don't understand the shit we've been doing. You've been competing for 11 years bodybuilding. I've been training for 21 total years. And shit's gonna start going downhill sooner or later because I'm 35, right? But I'm still making gains. I'm still making progress. I'm still finding new things. So I think what our consensus is, there is no natural potential because you've never tried everything.
That's right. Your body's going to adjust to whatever stimulus you give it. And it's either that or it's going to die. So, I mean...
That's pretty fucking dire. I like it.
It's true though.
Yeah.
I mean, let's take someone who works outside. We were talking about this yesterday. Someone who works out in the sun. Landscaper. The sun is beating down their heads all day, every day. They're moving around heavy equipment. They're digging in the dirt. They're being exposed to all kinds of bacteria. I mean, all these things that would really harm somebody who's not conditioned for that. Well, it's just you're conditioning your body for that stimulus over and over and over again. Exposure to that same stimulus. Your body's going to adjust, and pretty soon, a day's work out there digging in the dirt and landscaping, it's not going to phase you that much.
It becomes your baseline.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And so that's when you take it to another step.
And we're not saying that step is the landscaper injects trenbolone.
No, it's not.
We're saying if you're in the gym training, let's say you've hit a plateau, which I've never hit a plateau and I haven't been able to overcome, either with food or with stimulus. Keep in mind, training is the stimulus for everything, right? Like, if you don't overload your muscles, your diet can be perfect, you're not going to grow. If you don't eat and provide your body the right nutrients, you're not going to grow muscle, you're not going to get results. So what I'm saying is, people always, oh, diet's 80% of it. No. Diet's 100%. And so is training.
Yeah.
Because without one another, they don't work. You know, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like having, you trying to run and you're missing a kneecap. You have an ankle. It's not full. You need both of them.
Absolutely. And there's so many different variations of training and dieting that you can try. And just like the machine said, you haven't tried everything. And the whole genetic potential thing, it's a huge myth. Let's take people who have smaller calves, for example.
Yeah, my genetics are down there, man.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard it time and time again.
They've grown.
You have not tried everything. You might have lagging calves. Your calves might not grow as fast as your shoulders or another part of your body, but they're still growing. They're still
slower. Yeah.
Just a little slower, and that's it. And how
yeah.
much time are you going to give yourself?
And I'd like to go over the ultimate case study, and that's Doug, because he has to come up because he's arguably, as far as in at least that we know of, who's actually been tested repeatedly. We could argue Mike O'Hearn, but as far as I honestly believe he could be natural, because Mike's 45 years old. He's been at this a long time, and if you've ever seen him train, but you're looking at a perfect storm. You're looking at LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, where you take the hardest training and the hardest dieting people, and you give them above average genetics, and then you do it for 20 years straight. I mean, if you look at Doug's pictures from when he was the greatest before to his last show, he only gained like 5 pounds. It was 5 really good pounds, but he only gained like 5 pounds, but that was in 5 years. That's a pound of muscle a year.
Yeah.
He came in a bit leaner. So let's say he gained 7 pounds of muscle in 5 years. If I'm looking at that as a statistician or as a beginner who starts at 130, that sucks. That's horrible. But he fought for that, and he tried new things, and he goes in there and he literally goes to destroy himself every time, but he focuses on recovery, he focuses on eating perfect, and he's been living the lifestyle cleanly for 20 years. So if you want to look at genetic potential, I'd look at, let's just for the sake of argument, let's get off this whole, fuck him, he's not, let's assume, for the sake of argument, I'll vouch for him all day, but none of y'all care, that he's natural. Has he reached his genetic potential? He'll tell you he's still trying to make gains. And that's when you think you reach genetic potential, you have. Because that's when you stop trying to make gains.
That's right.
That's just, you have to point to him, and you have to point to people who have not been proven to be liars. And that's Mike and Doug, really. And O'Hearn's just a freak. And also realize Doug competes in the 190s. Kai Green's 270. And Kai Green's shorter than Doug. Just to put it in perspective, size v size. Mike O'Hearn's 220, but he's like 6'2". These aren't mass monsters. This isn't Phil and Kai.
No.
Okay, so I completely believe, if you look at those averages, and then of course, Frank Zane, since when did Frank Zane is the height of genetic potential plus steroids?